Sunday going to be today? Today we are going to make something that's going to be very comforting on a very cold and wet and very rainy day. We have high winds, and it's one of those days where you hunker inside and you don't dare go outside. Even my chickens are closed up in their coop, and I don't need to go out and tend to them today. So we are going to make chili. And I thought to myself, well, while I'm working on all of this chili, why don't I can some of it? So today I'm going to share with you how I make my chili, plus I'm going to share with you how I can my chili. When you go to all the trouble of cooking something large, it would make sense to can some of it. Then you have meals for many months to come. And so while I'm going to all the trouble of making this, I'm going to can it as well. So let's get started. What I already did ahead of time was I sauteed 3 pounds of ground turkey. And we're going to go ahead and put all this turkey in. I originally was going to freeze this turkey and I put it in little containers. But since then I decided I might as well can it and make some chili with it. Taste it with some onions and some peppers. I'm going to go ahead and we are going to add 1 onion. And I used my 1950s food chopper to chop up this onion. Now there really is no set recipe. I just use whatever I have, and that's what makes it really good, is using what you have on hand. I'm going to use some of my canned kidney beans and just a few of my canned black beans. I'm going to rinse and drain them and add that to the chili. I had a little bit of these dried tomatoes. We're going to put that in. As you see, I'm putting a little bit of this and a little bit of that in it. Now we need to add a little more liquid. A little bit of my homemade V8. Now all we're doing so far is adding the liquid. We're not adding any of the spices. I have some homemade chili sauce. Go ahead and see what it looks like. Alright, looks good. We're going to turn up our heat on our stove. Now we're going to add a little bit of ketchup. In a number 10 can, and it was only $3, so we're just going to put a little bit of ketchup in it. The rest I'm going to re-jar and I'm going to can that. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add some of our seasonings. So I am following a little bit in a book, but I'm adding my own things to it. And the book comes from Cooking with the Horse and Buggy People. And this is a canning recipe, but I'm adding my own to it. So we're going to add 2 cups of brown sugar. Now, of course, you don't have to add the sugar. I looked in all of my Amish cookbooks and they all say to use brown sugar. We're going to go ahead and we're going to add about 1/4 of a cup of chili powder. You understand this is making a large batch. And I'll go ahead and taste it and see what I need to add to it. And then we're going to add just a little bit of salt. With 2 teaspoons of salt, then I will taste it and we'll add more if needed. And give it a stir. Now that looks really good. I also have some celery in here. So I sauteed my turkey burger with celery, red peppers and yellow peppers and onions. And then we added an extra onion to it. We're going to go ahead and let this cook for a little bit, and I'll get back to you and we'll see if it needs any more spices. Don't waste anything. My husband bought at the Dollar Tree sweet pepper strips, non-GMO. And he didn't really care for them. He said they didn't taste like anything. They were really bland. But we're going to add it to our chili. So we're going to add all of these to our chili because it will be good in the chili. And so I went in my refrigerator and I looked to see if there's anything else that I could use that would make the chili good. And this will. It will be perfect in here. So it's almost ready to put in our jars. So not only do I have a good meal for today, a good meal for tomorrow, I also have a lot of meals for this coming winter. And it was about a cup of leftover beef broth. We're going to add that as well. It's not that much, it's not going to make much of a difference, but it's actually going to really help the soup taste better. Now, as you see, it's rather thin for chili, but when I can it, it will thicken up. Also, I found some celery, some more celery. We're going to add that to it. Now we're going to go ahead and cook this about, oh, there's one big piece, I have to cut that. We're going to go ahead and we're going to cook this for about 30 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, so it's all really good and hot because everything in here is already cooked. So I'll get back to you and show you what it looks like when we're ready to put it in our jars. So the chili is ready to put in our jars. It's good and it's hot. So I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to put some in our jars, and then what's left we're going to eat. It turned out really good. Now you don't want to fill them too full. So about 3 scoops is enough. So it'll be 3 of these. So I have enough of chili for 2 meals plus all of these meals. So we're going to go ahead and wipe off our rims. We have our washed lids. We're going to go ahead and put them on. Now I can double stack my canner so I can can all of these in one batch. So that's why it's so neat being able to can. And I really want to encourage you, I know a lot of you started canning since watching my videos. I really want to encourage you to learn to can, to watch videos. There's so many tutorials out there on YouTube. Also, I have a lot of tutorials back in my old videos. But it's so much fun and you can save so much money. The #1 way to save money is can your own food. A lot of this food I got at the discount grocery store, or I got at the grocery store when it was on sale. The celery, I paid 49 cents for it because it was reduced. A lot of your regular favorite grocery stores have a section where they have reduced food as well. So even if you don't have a local discount grocery store, you can often find really cheap reduced foods in your regular grocery store, but you have to look for it. Also, Sundays are a good day to go shopping because they oftentimes will have their meat on sale on a Sunday night before they bring out the fresh meat for Monday. All of these things you can do, but you have to have an eye for it and you have to keep on a lookout. So how much did it cost me to make this? Well, it was $4 for the meat. The tomatoes were all free because I grew them. The celery was like 49 cents. So you can see it's like pennies. And the beans I got really cheap, bulk. I got them for 49 cents a pound. And they were home canned. Alright, we're going to go ahead and finish this and then I'll put it in the canner. This is the Tefal canner. I like this canner because it self-regulates, and I'll show you what that means. And so I have my bottom layer and I can go ahead and I can put 2 layers on. But as you see, I had plenty of room. The Tefal canner, it's just 2 pieces. And now we're ready to go. We set it to steam, and now it's going to take me at least 30 to 40 minutes to get enough of steam to be able to start canning. My propane stove takes a long time to heat up, but once it heats up, it works really quickly. Alright, you can see it's really steaming, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to put it at the number 3. We'll pop up and then we'll start counting when it reaches the 10. canner, and now we're having lunch. I made some rice that I got with my rice cooker that I got for $3.50 a few weeks ago at the thrift store. And we're having our chili with all kinds of vegetables in it and all kinds of goodies. So this would give me enough for 2 meals. And then at the discount grocery store, I had in the freezer roasted garlic and herb cheese. Put some cheese on top. Put everything out of our refrigerator. Made a beautiful chili that we can have for lunch today and lunch tomorrow. Plus, we have all of those meals. You can't beat that. Some of the best recipes in the world are ones that you just come up with on your own. You don't always have to follow a book. Sometimes you have to think outside the box. Take care, everyone. We'll see you guys tomorrow. January 21st, 1943. We have Fanny's diary. Today I got the piano tuned and I finished work dress for Anna Mae.